You guys, behind me, I have the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the three Hebrew boys that were thrown into the fire by King Nebuchadnezzar. This is Daniel chapter 3. And I want to show you the tactic that this evil king used against the whole nation of Israel to try and get them to worship him and all of his foreign gods that had no power. I'm showing you this because this is the same tactic that the devil uses against us today to get us to try and worship other gods and commit idolatry against God. Look at this. So King Nebuchadnezzar, it says in verse 1, erects a statue of himself in honor of him to get the people of Israel to worship him. And he says this in verse 2. Then he sent messages to the high officers, officials, governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and the provincial officials to come to the dedication of the statue he had set up. All of the officials came, stood before the king Nebuchadnezzar. And then the herald shouted, "People of all races and nations and languages, listen to the king's command. When you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, harp, pipes, and other musical instruments, bow to the ground and worship King Nebuchadnezzar's gold statue. Anyone who refuses to obey this will be immediately thrown into the fiery furnace." Okay, so right here you see what is the first tactic that he uses? He calls together all of the most influential people in this providence, okay, or in his kingdom. He calls them together to try and sway the people to worship him. This is the main tactic, I feel like, or one of the main tactics that the enemy uses against us. He will get all of the most influential people in pop culture, you know, from the president to the singers, the entertainers, the actors are entertainers, and sports players, and all of these people, politicians, and even the people in your life. He will even come in the form of your family and friends, the most influential people in your circle, to try and get you to submit to the same things that they are submitting to that are godless. See, he thinks the weight of their influence will influence you. It's not just an intimidation tactic. It is a form of manipulation, making it seem like, look, the most influential people in the world are doing this, and you should do it too. They support this. You should support this too. But this is a trick of the enemy, and I am begging you, do not bow down to the gods of the world because you feel the pressure of the world.